Hi everyone, my name is Seth Ellsworth, and I wanted to give you a proper What's in the Bag 2019. Um, I did earlier on, I told you about the 5 Club Challenge that the Golf Sidekick put forth that I saw a couple weeks ago, and I showed you the 5 clubs that were in my little Sunday bag for that, and I still want to do that once in a while. I think it's good for me. Um, but obviously I take the full bag out more often than not. So we're going to start from the bottom up, and starting with the wedges. Last year I was fitted for Titleist Vokey wedges, SM7s. I pulled out the 54 here. That's the sand wedge because I've been trying to do a lot of my chipping around the green with the 54. There's a lot you can do with a sand wedge. Even according to Vokey himself, he says that the average sort of amateur everyday player should be able to do almost everything with the sand wedge and only should have a 58 hanging around for very special shots. So yeah, I've always been really happy with these. I love the way they feel. They have that classic Titleist look, which I'm going for. I'm a big Titleist fan. I'm wearing my Ping hat because it doesn't show the sweat stains. I have sweat stains on my Titleist hat because I wear it so much. But yeah, this is the Vokey wedges, and I have those from the 58 lob wedge all the way down, or all the way up through the 46 pitching wedge. And I like every single one of them. Irons. Let's pull the 7 iron. My irons are the Mizuno JPX Easies. These are the cavity back version, and they're from around 2013 or 14. Same ones I had last year. I got a fantastic deal on these at the time. Some of the clubs themselves, the club heads, were still in their wrappers. That's how new the iron set was. Obviously, cavity back, thick soled, lots of forgiveness. I'm still very much learning how to hit irons with any kind of consistency, getting good strike and everything. So these are helping me play maybe just a little bit better as I learn how. And I think I'm going to have these for a long time. At first I wasn't sure. I thought maybe this might be messing me up, the big chunky cavity back, and I kind of wanted to go to like a Titleist, more of a blade style, but every time I've tried to hit a blade, I can't get it off the ground. I have a Mizuno MP33 3 iron that I sometimes take to the range and hit, and I can't get that thing off the ground to save my life. So I'll have these for a good long time until they wear out, and hopefully by then I'll be hitting a lot better. So that's my irons. Now I have those through from 9 down to 6, and I know that sounds kind of weird. 6 is a weird place to stop with your irons. I actually carry 2 hybrids, and the reason is, again, I don't like hitting long irons because I can't right now get them up in the air enough consistently to really have it be an effective shot for me. So I mean, part of that is, and I go into this on my blog in a lot more detail, modern lofts get really aggressive the higher you go up into the bag. So literally they've looked at this stuff, whoever they are have looked at this stuff and have figured out that today's 5 iron is the equivalent of a 3 and almost a 2 iron from 20 years ago, from the 1960s. You go back to sort of what the classic lofts were that people were still playing in the 60s and 80s, and what I grew up on playing. I could hit a 3 iron back in the day. I can't hit a 3 iron now, and sort of the standard thinking is most players, not professionals, but most everyday golfers have a hard time hitting below a 5 iron. And so if I'm carrying down to my 4 or 3 in this bag, how am I gonna hit those well at all? So what I've done is I've gone to hybrids. This year I picked up, I was specifically looking for a 25 degree to replace the 4 and the 5 in my bag, the 4 degree and the 5 degree iron, and I found Titleist 816 HB1 25 degree hybrid. I love this thing. Like I said, I'm a big Titleist fan. Um, I have this set on the A1 setting right here. It is very adjustable, but I've found just in trial and error that the regular straight up neutral A1 setting works well for me. The thing I like about this is I can hit with this a low draw that actually curves around and to the left. I've done it a couple times this year out of sort of some, I'm in the fairway, but I'm like on the left side and I need to still go left, and there's a tree in the way or something like that. I've been able to hit a few times this thing that just curves right around. It goes far and it keeps going and goes right in the middle of the fairway for me, and that's a shot I didn't have last year. So I should do shafts here, shouldn't I? This one's one of their stock. This is a regular flex Mitsubishi Diamana. Again, this is a stock shaft, one of the stock shafts, and I have either regular or stiff flex in all my stuff. I can hit stiff flex just fine. Regular's all right too. When I get down to light flex or whatever they call it, things get a little wobbly for me. So, but yeah, anyway, gives me a new shot. I hit this about 170, 175, hits the gap that I want it to, and gives me sort of a little maneuverability. Now the next hybrid down is the 22 degree Ping Eye 25. I got this and the 19 degree version last year, sort of as a Mark Crossfield rinky dink sort of thing, and excuse me, and again, this hits the gap. I'm looking to hit about 180, 185 with this. It's like a whip. Okay, these clubs are, this is a regular flex. I have stiff flex in the other one. It doesn't matter how stiff they are. This club with its smaller head and just the way it comes around, it is like a whip, and it comes around and it pops, just jumps off the head. So I get some height on this, and I mean I can do different shots with this, but the way I see this is it hits the gap, and it gives me sort of two different types of hybrid shots too, to be able to play with, which is nice. So there's that. There's my hybrids. All right, we're getting up into the metal woods now, and this I got this year in order to replace the cheap 5-wood I had last year that I actually threw into a pond accidentally. It was an accident, but I was angry and I bounced it into a pond. But I found this a really good deal on this, a JPX Easy by Mizuno from their 2015 version. So again, I had the JPX Easy from Mizuno in their 2013 version. Here, the orange ones. Now in a wood, I have the more blue one. This is I have this set at 19. That's what they suggested for me. I kind of wish I had it at 18. This thing flies super high. And one of the main reasons I got this, besides that it was a good deal, is I was hitting it at the store. I was hitting it dead center every single time, which I thought was a really good sign. Liking it. It has the Fujikura FW shaft in it, and this is actually a stiff flex. These Fujikura shafts are really good, and honestly the shafts on all these are worth probably about, because these are pre-owned clubs, almost all of them. These shafts that come stock these days are actually worth themselves the price of the club, if not more. So I like that. I like that I can get something decent, or more than decent even. Okay, 3-wood. I've always liked hitting 3-wood. Same thing with 5-wood, but mostly with 3-wood. I've always been hit these long metal woods really well, straight and far, when I connect well with them, and this one's no exception. It's a Bridgestone J40 I picked up last year. Nice club, and I actually, this is 14 degree. I wish I had a 15 degree 3-wood, but for right now I'm just using this. This is actually, I found out afterwards, when I read about it afterwards, that this, after I bought it, that this is actually a more of a mid to low handicap fairway wood, and that's fine. It gives me something to grow into, and when I hit it, it's more of a line drive. It's not a high launcher, but it goes, and it does what I need it to. So I like having also a Bridgestone in my bag. That's kind of a little bit different thing that you're not going to see that often, so that's nice. Now, driver. Get this thing down in here and we'll talk about driver. Driver, I'm actually carrying 2 drivers right now, which is insane, but what that does for me is lets me decide what I'm going to do, because this is my Ping G5 driver from last year. I got on a good trade with my brother. This is his old driver. He got fitted for a Wilson Triton driver that he really likes. But I love the way this feels, and it doesn't hit extreme draw or extreme slice. It hits straight, or it has a little bit of a fade to it, just a little bit, and I like it. It's not loud. It feels good. Again, shaft is an Aldilla shaft. This one's a stiff flex as well, 65 grams, and nice shaft. And I like this one, but it doesn't have any adjustability, and I kind of wanted a driver with adjustability. It's 9 degrees, so there's that as well. I hit it pretty well last year, but I kind of wanted adjustability, and I got a trade going for a Ping Glide wedge that I had that I wasn't using because I got all the Vokies finally by the end of last year. And this trade came along where I could trade that wedge for this TaylorMade R11S. Alright, and this has lots of adjustability. This right here is, you can adjust the angle of the face, whether it's open or closed. I think that's the sole plate, they call that. Obviously you can adjust the loft with the sleeve right here, and it has water dripping off of it because apparently when I cleaned them, some must have gotten in there and stuck. But it also has weights for the heel and the toe. And this one here, I've left in the heavier of the two in the heel. This is the 10-gram weight. I don't actually have the 1-gram weight in there because I kind of wanted to be able to pull things through a little bit, but I might end up putting that back in because I'm hitting slice. Like, this thing hits extreme slice. But before I get to that, 10.5 degree version, I have it scaled down to 9 3/4 degree. Just to kind of get closer to 9 but still have a little bit more loft. For some reason I have it dialed in to where I like it, to where I thought was giving me just a little bit of a fade on the range. I dialed it in, but this thing just slices like crazy if you don't hit it correctly, and it isn't as forgiving as sort of some people told me it was when I was doing a little bit of research before I bought it. So I want this to work. I'm probably going to have a driver fitting with my coach Ivan Smith. I'll probably just take like a half hour out of one of our hour lessons and have him dial this into as close as we can get it. Something better than what I could do, I thought, for myself. And once I give it a fair shake, I'm hoping this works. The two things I don't like about it are, it sounds like a gunshot when you hit it. I mean, to the point that it actually hurts my ears. So that's, if you're into that sort of thing and you need that to be you know, a thing for you, then that's definitely something that kind of bugs me a little bit. Also, it feels a lot harder coming off here than this feels on the Ping. So right now I'm looking at probably selling this at some point, but I want to give it a good go. I didn't pay anything for it because it was just a straight up one-to-one club trade, but I want to see. I want to see how this goes. We'll have to wait and see. So not decided on the driver yet. I'll carry both of those until I've decided. Um, Now I do have one more club here that's, again, I'm still not quite settled yet, almost. Trying to take this out without dinging up all the middle woods. This is a weird club that I got for cheap. This is called, it's a 68 degree, it's called a Pine Meadow Last Wedge, I believe. Yep, the last wedge at the green. And you can see 68 degrees is ridiculous. All right, there's no business I should have having this in my bag, but I thought it would be good. Sometimes I get stuck on the side of banks, and I can't quite figure out which wedge to use. It doesn't make it go dink like right in front of me. And I thought more loft would make it pop up in the air more. So either a short bank or a really high bank, get it to pop up in the air and come back down on the green. So far, when I've had the opportunity to use this, it's just slammed straight into the side of the bank, and you have to be really good to make proper strike with this. Now, on the range or off a mat or something like that, no problem at all. You hit it, you don't even have to try, and just the angle, the severe angle of it pops it up, puts it about 20 to 30 yards. Perfect gap. It's going into my lob wedge. It seems like it would be good, but I think this is on the way out. It's here now, but it's just not practical for what I was hoping it would be. So we'll see. It's still in there for right now. Putter. Let's see, putter. Last year when I got fitted for the wedges, I also got fitted for the putter, and I'm still using the same one. I'll be using this for a long time. This is the Odyssey O-Works V-Line Fang CH. Got the weights there, got the Fang look, which I didn't go into it thinking I wanted a Fang putter, but this helped some of my tendencies smooth out a little bit. It has kind of the plumber neck there, that also helped some of my tendencies. And I have a Super Stroke 3.0, so a size bigger than what actually came on it, as far as that goes. And I really like this. You get good touch. You have the micro hinge technology on the face. That was kind of a new thing last year, and that tends to lift the ball up and get a better roll going from the very beginning, so you get a better line. I like this putter. I can't see myself getting rid of it anytime soon for any reason. So, alright, talk about a couple other things here. I have this glove, and this is a TaylorMade glove. I got this beginning of last year when I was getting all my stuff. I got this just randomly, and I rarely used it last year at all because I had a Mizuno glove. I didn't take very good care of the Mizuno glove, so it's in my other bag now, and last year I really just liked using bare hands, and I think I probably should go back to that. But this year I've been using this TaylorMade glove. It's a lot better quality, I think, because it's not getting worn out at all. It's a bit dirty. I need to clean it to make sure I don't neglect it and have it go bad like I did the Mizuno last year. But that's my glove. I don't even know what model it is. I think after this one is worn out, I think I'm going to try the Titleist glove. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that like everybody swears by. I'm going to try the Titleist one because I'm a big Titleist person, as you can see with my wedges and my hybrid. Would have worn my Titleist hat. I'm wearing my Ping hat because it doesn't show the sweat stains. My Titleist hat, I wear it so much that it's just the big Titleist across here is just all like sweat salt. It's all stained. So decided to pass on that for the video. But good. There's my glove. One last thing I want to show you. And let's see. I'll pull any old thing. This is the pitching wedge. This year, last year I used standard grips. all right, because I didn't know what I wanted or what I needed or what would help me. I just used standard grips and that's it. This year, I knew I wanted a mid-size first of all because I felt like there was too much slack in my grip, and so I decided to go to mid-size. And I had heard about this +4 grip, which gives you down here where it tapers down here. It actually gives you the equivalent of 4 more layers of tape down here than a normal grip would have. So the idea is to get the weight going, to have more weight pushing back against my hands so I can keep my hands forward for more time and hopefully get that compressing strike instead of always being like wrist flipping and always like guessing at. Basically you're playing a guessing game and you're never getting good strike unless you're lucky. Unless you're Tiger Woods, who does do it that way. And as you can see, he's still doing very well with it. I'm not Tiger Woods, so I'm trying to learn to do it with, you know, shaft lean involved. So now I was gonna have to get it in this because this was the only thing they had at the time. It's the Golf Pride multi-compound composite mid-size +4. I don't know if you can even see that or not, but it's like it says, it's a multi-compound composite. It has different, like, this is all sort of rubbery down here. This is up here at the top, sort of like a corded, aggressive sort of thing. And it comes in different colors, but my color options were limited because of the size I was using. And honestly, I just didn't really want this. I don't like the rubbery feel of it. But I was gonna have to get this. And then right before I got my clubs regripped, they came out with the same thing, the mid-size and the +4 in the Tour Velvet. You can see right there, Tour Velvet. Got the +4 here. Show you this. This might show a little bit better. All right, so this is the Golf Pride Tour Velvet version of the mid-size +4, and I like it. I like this has a little bit less rubbery and more of a soft feel to it, which I really liked last year in the standard grips. And I was really glad that I waited a couple more weeks, because if I would have, you know, like in February or March had this done, this didn't even exist yet. So it's good that I waited, and I think that's about it. One more thing, maybe one more thing. My bag is the same bag I had last year. It's Sun Mountain. I don't know the model. I've never been able to figure that out. I love this bag. It's comfortable. It was really important to me that I get a slot for each club, so it has 14 slots here. And yeah, Sun Mountain. Sun Mountain also makes Titleist bags. So the companies have kind of gone with bag companies to have them make their bags, and then they slap their logo on the side of it. So like Callaway is OGO, Sun Mountain is Titleist, and I said earlier I like Titleist, so I'll have this bag for a long time. I'm not going to switch. I'll sell it someday when it's starting to wear out on me, and that's about it. The ball that I like to use, I don't have any with me right now because I've lost all of them, and they're expensive, is the Callaway Chrome Soft. It just feels great. Feels soft. You can hit it far. You can have touch with it when you're putting and when you're chipping. It's in that same range with the Titleist Pro V1s, which is sort of the standard that a lot of people like, especially pros and everybody. For about 20 years now, that's been the ball. I think it's clicky. I mean, it's a good ball. I can see if you're good at maneuvering and stuff, it's a good ball. But doesn't feel nearly as soft as I want it to feel, and all the Callaway balls just feel better. The Chrome Soft spins better. I also like if I had sort of a second ball that I like hanging around, it's the Strixon Z-Star. Again, I don't have any of those because I've lost them, but the Strixon Z-Star, I tested a bunch of balls in that sort of mid-high range last year. I didn't want to have to pay $45 for a box of 12, so I was looking like the $30 range. I was looking at the TaylorMade Project A ball, and also the Titleist. It's called the Tour Soft now. It wasn't that. I think it was called NXT Tour S in the past. And again, I would have liked the Titleist ball. That Project A ball got really good reviews, but the Strixon Z Star really worked. It felt good. Not as soft as the Chrome Star, but it felt good. It performed well. Um, High quality. Like you could tell uh, the outer layer, the shell on it is really tough. Um, I wish I had a couple of them to just show you, but I don't. So that's the end of this. This is my what's in the bag for 2019. Glad you made it this far. This is actually the second take, and we made it without a whole bunch of noise, so that's good. You guys have a good one, and if you want to comment on anything at all, feel free to do so. Bye-bye.